Sawadee guys, and welcome to this week's training. This week we'll be working with our clinch work, or striking, defending ourselves, and manipulating our opponent from within the clinch.
Your clinch and the close range that you are at within a clinch is conducive to shorter range weapons such as your elbow and your knees. So those are the main focus of your strikes within the clinch itself. As you move into a clinch, you can make use of longer and medium range weapons in order to set up your way into a clinch. And when you're retreating from a clinch, you also want to continue to be aggressive in your attack even when leaving a clinch, so you're going to make use of longer range weapons also.
There are a few things that are important to remember if we find ourselves in a clinch. The first one would be to maintain our balance at all times. When we find ourselves in a clinch, it's not so much as seeing what our opponent does, as much as it is feeling what our opponent does. When we go out fishing for the clinch with one of the hands, for example, we should always make sure that the other hand is close enough to protect our face. We should also be aware of the distance between our opponent and us. Is it enough for an elbow to sneak through? Is it enough for a knee to sneak through?
Basic principles still apply within your clinch. So these are again making sure your stance is square. What you may see quite often in a clinch is because you're close range, people will bring their feet into a straight line. This gives you less security and stability in your stance. So even in a clinch, you want to maintain that square stance. You want to maintain your C-section with your chin down and your shoulders protecting your jawline. So even though you're in the clinch, you're still maintaining the basic principles of your stance. So elbows are a nice weapon to use within the clinch because, of course, they are short range, but also because they are quick and they are sneaky. So while you are in the clinch trying to get best position in the clinch, you can nicely sneak in an elbow or across the top very sneakily and very easily. And if your opponent's shoulders are not protected, if their guard is not protecting them even in the clinch, those elbows are going to find a target. With the clinch, you can also manipulate your opponent if you have control of the clinch to deliver a more powerful knee. So bringing the head down toward the knee, what they refer to as bringing the coconut to the monkey. So coconut of the head to the monkey.
Our first one is starting with a dog bois or lotus flowering tie, blocking our opponent from clinching us. From the dog bois position, meaning our hands are on the inside, we start with a front uppercut elbow, followed by a back horizontal elbow, or in Thai, sok sui, followed by sok dat.
Your whole body is involved in using your dog bois to break your clinch. So as your hands separate to open up the clinch, your shoulder and your hips are also thrusting forward in order to give you power to do that.
For the next combo, we're starting with moving closer to our opponent and then faking a punch, grabbing our opponent's guard, pulling it down, and going around the guard to deliver a horizontal elbow or sok dat in Thai.
Your next exercise within the clinch is a double knee, starting with your rear leg. You can either use the same leg or switch for your second knee to your other leg. Characteristic of this action is a swinging tail action. So within the clinch, you can swing back your leg in order to get a bit more power in your knee. As your foot leaves the floor, you swing it back, creating space for your hip to come through a little bit more.
One way to defend against a knee is to swipe our opponent's standing foot, breaking their balance and momentum. We're starting the next combo, moving forward, closer to our opponent with a jab, followed by a hitting elbow or sock dit in Thai. Then we're going to clinch our opponent and imagine that our opponent is striking with a knee. We're going to sweep the standing foot and right after that, bounce back with a second knee.
Exercise 5, you're starting with a knee with your lead leg, however bringing it to the rear with an interchange. Then you will push your opponent away and follow up with a jumping knee.
We're starting the next combo from the clinch. We're attacking with two knees, and as we place our foot down after the second knee, we push our opponent away. As we push our opponent away, we step across to deliver a back spinning elbow. It's useful if after the second knee, we step down already with our foot across to allow our back spinning elbow to come through with much more speed and power.